saying in the old world. How about this for a bottle? Now, I want to acknowledge that that was very hard to lift. Okay, so we're moving back to Sensi. You can tell my two favorite wineries, can't you? Um, this is really special. This is the Sensi flagship. Let me just put that there. This is Sensi's new flagship wine. This is Governato. If you need to know more about Sensi, please watch the video from last week. Sensi's a top 5 Tuscan winery. He's a family winemaker, 4 to 5 generations now because the son's like 10. So cute. Um, and it's all about quality and consistency as well. So for us as a company, we need the brand to show up in 2009 as it shows up today in 2020. Like it has to be consistent throughout all of those years. But year after year, Sensi continues to surprise us and bring out things that just blow our mind. This is as I said, the flagship, the Governato. It's made in a very old style of winemaking. And what do I mean by that? What they do is they pick the best plot, which that means the best hillside, the best sunlight hitting the hill and all that kind of thing. They hand harvest it and then they hang a part of the harvest up in racks. So if you know Amarone style, that is what I'm talking about here, where they hang it on racks, they dry them. They don't dry them completely to a raisin, but they dry them to a point where they're retaining a lot of sweetness, a lot of sugar. Why do we want that sugar? Is because we can retain sweetness and alcohol in the wine. Now, when they start fermenting this, they ferment it both in barrel and amphora. An amphora is a clay pot. These things cost a fortune. They are so ancient. They are such an old style of winemaking. But what you get from amphora is a complexity of fruit rather than oak, like I mentioned before. So we want to taste the fruit. Yeah, we don't want to cover it with oak. I think in Australia we do a lot of we can make a lot of bad wine good by adding oak. With Italian and French wine, they do not do that. So this is made using amphora. Now, how that method works. So the wine will start fermenting, and then just in case of like a automatic stop, which is not what they want, they will keep adding these dried grapes. So these dried grapes will keep the ferment going until the winemaker's happy with the wine. So we're looking at 14.5% alcohol. You're looking at a 2016 vintage. Thank you for the question. 2016 vintage because it has spent over 2 years of aging. So it's a fantastic wine. But it's bold. So I love to bring this wine out when I have Australians tell me that they only drink Shiraz or they only drink Australian wine. And look, I'm all about Australian wine. I believe support local any way you can. But it is so important to train your palate to our forefathers, to where our wines came from, to understand what the Europeans were doing when they first started making wine. And that's why I encourage people to move to Italian, French, and French wines. And this is a great way to move people to those wines because it's big and it's bold, like straight away on the nose, you're getting all those Sangiovese characters: tobacco, leather, dark cherry, like actually dark cherry, like cherry ripe dark cherry. Yeah, like it's chocolate dark cherry. It is awesome because it's getting all those tertiary characters coming through because it's aged, but also because of those dried grapes, because they've added those dried grapes to the blend. I know I should be spitting, but it's awkward. It's awkward today because these are my favorite wines. I don't want to spit them out. Wow. So, as you would expect from any Sangiovese, high tannin, so super dry and high acid, but very well balanced with fruit. But you're definitely getting all those gorgeous tobacco characters, the tobacco leaf, the leather, all those Sangiovese characters that you'd expect are definitely coming through. Wow. That is a wine. This is also a bottle. Like it's a bottle and a half. It is like you are paying for the bottle when you're buying this wine. You could definitely do some weights with that. As I mentioned, it is aged in amphora, which costs a fortune. They dry the grapes out. It's a very long and arduous process. And you're talking from like the circa 1800. Like this is a very old process of making wine. And it's just beautiful. Like, as I said, if I'm trying to get anyone to move to Italian wines, I will start them here. Mm. And it's definitely something you can age for a very long time. Thank you for indulging me on that one. Sensi has absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. It's actually done in collaboration with the University of Tuscany as well, which is pretty cool. So that's that one.